coffee's cold again tonight, just like this empty house. There's a dim light in the kitchen, rain tapping softly on the glass, and I'm sitting here alone again, trying not to look back. Your favorite cup is still beside me, though you've been gone for months. Funny how the smallest things can still hurt this much. The clock keeps moving slowly, but these memories don't fade. Every little corner of this room still whispers your name, and I still hear your laughter inside the midnight silence, like ghosts made out of old love songs, refusing to die. Some nights feel endless when regret won't let you sleep. Now it's cold coffee at 2 a.m. Old mistakes running through my head, and every sip tastes like goodbye. Every memory still burns inside. I should have held you longer, should have loved you better back then. Now all I have are sleepless nights, cold coffee, and regrets again. I found your note inside the drawer, the one I never read before, and suddenly the air got heavy like the night you walked away. You wrote, "I wish you'd fight for us." God, those words destroyed me, because deep down I knew you were begging me to stay. But pride can be a cruel thing, turning love into silence, and now I trade anything just to hear your voice again. Outside the storm keeps falling, like heaven mourns with me tonight, and honestly I deserve this pain for letting us die. If I could go back to that evening, I'd stop you at the door and tell you every single reason I was terrified to lose you. But life doesn't rewind for broken hearts, it only leaves memories in the dark. Now it's cold coffee at 2 a.m. and your side of the bed feels empty again. And though the world keeps moving on, part of me is still where you were. Because some loves never really end, they just turn into regret. Some memories fade slowly, others stay forever. There's an old photograph beside my bed, faded edges, colors almost dead, but your smile still cuts through me like it was yesterday. The apartment feels much colder now, silence hanging heavy all around, and every shadow in this room still somehow looks like you. I light another cigarette just to watch the smoke disappear. Funny how heartbreak teaches you how loneliness feels. Outside, the neon lights are glowing, cars disappearing through the rain, and somewhere out there life goes on, while I remain the same. 'Cause moving on sounds easy until it's someone you can't forget. Now it's old photographs and cigarette smoke, lonely nights and hearts left broke, and every memory keeps pulling me back to the love we had. I still hear your voice at midnight, still feel your touch in empty light, and no matter how hard I try, I can't say goodbye. Dance inside the kitchen like the whole world disappeared, back when forever felt so easy and love felt safe here. But time has a way of changing people, turning warmth into distance, and slowly we became strangers with the same last kiss. Now every song sounds different, every street holds your ghost, and honestly the hardest part is missing you this close. 'Cause even after all this time, my heart still waits for you somehow, like maybe one day you'll walk back in and save me from this house. If love was only meant to hurt this way, why did it feel like heaven back then? And why does losing you still feel like losing part of myself? Now it's old photographs and cigarette smoke, your memory dancing through the room. And even though the night moves on, my soul still belongs to you. Because some people leave your life, but never leave your heart. Deleted it. I don't think I ever will. 3 a.m. and I'm doing it again, pressing play on a voice I shouldn't hear. 17 seconds of you saying my name, and suddenly you feel impossibly near. The room goes still, the world goes quiet, like time itself stops breathing when you speak. And God, I hate how much I need this, how hearing you still brings me to my knees. I've memorized every pause, every breath, every little hesitation in your tone. Funny how a voicemail becomes the only thing that makes me feel less alone. The blue light flickers on the ceiling, and your voice fills up this empty space. And for 17 seconds I forget that you're not coming back to this place. Some things we hold on to aren't meant to save us, they just keep us from letting go. Now it's the last voicemail on repeat, your voice the only company I keep. And every word you left me sounds like home. Every syllable reminds me I'm alone. I should delete it, move on, be strong, but 17 seconds is all I have of you now. So I press play again in the dark, because it's the closest thing I have to your heart. You said call me back when you get this, like everything was normal, like we were fine. But I never called, I just let it ring out, and that silence became the end of our time. Now I carry that guilt like old luggage through every room, through every sleepless night, because the last chance I had to fix us was 17 seconds I let pass by. Outside the city keeps on breathing, people living lives I can't imagine now, and I'm still here replaying your voice, too broken to figure out how. If I had called you back that evening, would we still be tangled up in love? Or was the silence already written, and I was just too blind to see enough? 'Cause I'd give everything I own right now just to hear you leave one more. And maybe this time I'd actually answer, maybe this time I'd fight for more. Now it's the last voicemail on repeat, your voice still warm inside a memory. And though the world moves on without a sound, I keep you playing, so you're still around. Because some goodbyes never really happen when you refuse to press delete. pillow still smells like you, and I hate that I noticed. I reach across in the middle of the night, half asleep and half believing you're still here. And then reality comes crashing quietly, and the cold sheet makes it painfully clear. Each side of the bed is perfectly still, not a wrinkle, not a trace of you left, except the ghost of every night we shared, still haunting every corner of this rest. I've tried sleeping in the middle, tried filling up the space you used to take, but somehow even in a full-size bed, this emptiness is more than I can take. The alarm will ring at 6 a.m. again. Another day of pretending I'm okay. But the hardest part is always right here, this quiet moment before the dark fades away. Loneliness hits different at 4 a.m. when you used to be the reason I felt safe. Now it's just the empty side of the bed, your absence louder than anything you said, and I keep waking up and reaching out, only to remember what this life's about. Sleeping alone was never in the plan. Loving you was all I ever had. Now the empty side just stares back at me, a quiet reminder of what we used to be. I found your bookmark in an old novel, page 84, the story halfway done. Just like us, we were unfinished, a beautiful story left undone. You used to read until the early hours, and I'd fall asleep watching the soft light on your face. Back when ordinary felt like heaven, back when I didn't know how much I'd miss this place. Now the lamp sits dark beside your pillow, no late night pages turning through the night, and the silence is a different kind of heavy than anything I felt before tonight. I don't want someone new to fill that space. I don't want to forget the shape of you, because replacing you was never the question. The question was just how to make it through. And most nights the answer is I don't know. Most nights I just breathe and count to 10. and pray that somewhere you're sleeping soundly, even if I never sleep again. Now it's just the empty side of the bed, your memory still resting where you slept, and I'll probably reach for you again tomorrow. Old habits made of love and quiet grief, because some absences take up more space than the person ever did.
Somewhere that in another life, maybe we got it right. There's a version of this story where I don't let pride get in the way, where I say I love you first on the porch and you decide to stay, where we grow old in a small house, coffee brewing on a Sunday morning slow, where the hardest thing we face together is deciding where to go. I play that version in my mind sometimes when the real one gets too heavy to hold. Imagining a world where we were braver, imagining a love that didn't turn cold. And maybe that's not healthy, living in a world that doesn't exist. But when reality is this empty, the other world is hard to resist. Somewhere out there in the universe, we chose each other every time. Somewhere it's still us, slow dancing in the kitchen. Somewhere you still laugh at all my jokes at 2 a.m. Somewhere we're still watching the rain against the window, and somewhere it's still us again. I know that world's a fantasy I'm building, but God, it feels more real than where I am. 'Cause here without you feels like being nowhere, and somewhere it's still us again. I saw a couple walking through the park today, her head against his shoulder, easy and warm. And for a second I forgot the present, saw us before the silence, before the storm. We used to walk like that on autumn evenings, your hand in mine like it was always meant to be. And somehow that felt more like the real world than anything I've lived since you left me. Now I take that walk alone on Sunday, same street, same park, completely different feel. And I keep searching for that other version, the one where what we had was something real. Maybe I'm just a dreamer who lost his ending. Maybe grief just dresses itself like hope, but I'd rather spend my life in the version where we figured out how to cope, where I love you wasn't just a habit,
where goodbye wasn't something that we knew, where the story never needed an ending, 'cause every day I still came home to you. Somewhere it's still us, undamaged and unhurried. Somewhere you still call my name and mean it every time. Somewhere we're still building something together, and somewhere you're still mine. I'll live here in the real world, I promise, but let me visit that other place sometimes, because somewhere it's still us, still dreaming, and that's the only thing that keeps me fine.
Every time it rains, it's like the sky already knows. I used to love the rain before you left, just background noise to fill a quiet room. Now every drop that hits the window pane is somehow whispering your name at noon. We got caught in a storm one September and laughing underneath the coffee shop awning. You shook the water from your hair, smiled, and I think that's when I knew I was falling. Now September comes and goes like nothing, but the rain still carries everything we were. Every puddle is a mirror showing the reflection of a love I can't recover. And I know it's just the weather, I know the sky doesn't know your name, but grief has a way of finding symbols, and mine is always, always falling rain. I'd give anything for one dry season, just to breathe without thinking of you. When the rain reminds me I forget to function. When the rain reminds me I go back to us, to that September, to that coffee awning, to the version of my life before the rust. When the rain reminds me I can almost feel you standing close enough to make the cold feel warm, but then the moment breaks and you're not with me, and I'm left out alone inside the storm. I checked the forecast every day last winter, partly hoping for a reason to stay in, and partly because the rain was the one language that still made sense when everything was dim. My friends say I should get out more often, find new places that don't hold your ghost. But every dry and sunny afternoon just makes me miss the storms I love the most. Because the rain was ours in some strange way, like the universe loaned it to our love. And now I'm borrowing it just to feel something, borrowing what I thought we had enough of. Maybe someday rain will just be weather, and September will just be a month of fall. Maybe someday I'll stop looking for you and every drop against the hallway wall. But until then, I'll sit beside this window and let the storm say everything I can't. Because some heartbreaks need the sky to help them, and mine needs every drop it has to grant. When the rain reminds me, I let it, I don't fight it anymore, I let it come. Maybe letting grief feel like the weather is how I slowly find my way back home. When the rain reminds me of your laughter, I hold it for a second, then I breathe. Because someday the rain will just be raining. Tonight it still means everything to me. Every time it rains, it's like the sky already knows. I used to love the rain before you left, just background noise to fill a quiet room. Now every drop that hits the window pane is somehow whispering your name. At noon, we got caught in a storm one September, ran laughing underneath a coffee shop awning. You shook the water from your hair and smiled, and I think that's when I knew I was falling. Now September comes and goes like nothing, but the rain still carries everything we were. Every puddle is a mirror showing the reflection of a love I can't recover. And I know it's just the weather, I know the sky doesn't know your name, but grief has a way of finding symbols, and mine is there's a whole drawer full of words you'll never read. I've been writing you letters for months now, pages filled with everything I couldn't say. All the apologies, the explanations, all the words that came too late to save that day. Dear love, I'm sorry for the evenings I chose silence when you needed me to speak, for the arguments I let go unresolved, for the version of myself that felt too weak. I fold them up and put them in a drawer, like maybe one day courage will arrive. But deep down I know you'll never read them, and maybe that's the reason I survive. Because sending them wouldn't make it too real, would mean admitting that I can't undo the past. And right now these unsent letters are the only conversation between us built to last. What do you do with all the words that came too late to matter? Letters I never sent, truths I never said, love expressed in ink that never left this bed. And every page is just another version of a sorry that can't travel through the years. Letters I never sent, folded up in silence, a whole relationship in words you'll never see. 'Cause I was better at expressing love on paper than I ever was when you were here with me. Dear love, I think about that Tuesday when you asked me if I still believed in us, and I said yes, without really meaning it, because I was too afraid of making a fuss. I should have said I'm scared and I'm exhausted, but losing you would break me more than this. I should have said the truth right at that table, instead of giving you a hollow practice bliss. Now the table sits with just one coffee, one chair pulled out, one window, one regret. And I write another letter on a Sunday, another truth that doesn't leave this drawer just yet. If letters could travel back through time somehow, I'd send them all in one enormous pile. Every apology, every declaration, every unsaid thing that made you walk that mile. I'd write, come back, I finally found the courage, I finally found the person I should be. But time doesn't deliver unsent letters, it just leaves them here between you and me.
never sent, still sitting in the drawer. A love story told in ink you'll never read. And every word I wrote was true and honest, just too late to be the thing you need. Maybe someday I'll burn them all in silence. Maybe that's the only way to grieve. But tonight I'll write one more letter to you and fold it up the way I always do.
There's a stretchy road that still breaks me every single time. I take the long way home on purpose now, avoiding every street that holds your name. But somehow all roads lead back to the same feeling. And somehow every song sounds like your face. There's a traffic light on Jefferson and Fifth, where we used to sit and talk through red to green. Now I catch myself still turning down the volume, like maybe you'll say something in between. The city looks the same from every angle, same neon signs, same rain-slicked parking lots. But everything feels like it's been repainted in all the muted colors of forgetting what I've got. And I still drive past your apartment building. I don't know why, I know you're not there. But something in me still expects your window lit, still expects to find you there. Some drives feel like they'll never end, when your destination used to be a person. It's the drive home without you in the passenger seat, your playlist still queued up, but I can't press play. Every mile is just another mile of missing. Every exit sign points back to yesterday. The drive home used to mean arriving somewhere warm. Now it's just the space between the hurt and sleep. And I keep driving circles in this empty city, searching for the home that used to be. I found your sunglasses in the glove compartment, folded neatly like you just set them down. And I sat there in a parking lot for 20 minutes, just holding them and staring at the ground. You always left your things in random places, little breadcrumbs scattered everywhere. And I used to find them slightly frustrating. Now they're the only proof that you were there. The radio keeps playing songs that find me, the kind of songs that know too much, too well. And every chorus feels like a confession of every feeling I was too proud to tell. Maybe home was never just a building. Maybe home was the specific weight of you, the way you feel the silence of the car rides, the way the world made sense when I had you. Now I'm just driving, driving, driving through a city that has swallowed all your light. And every traffic light on Jefferson and Fifth is just another red I sit through alone tonight. It's the drive home without you every single night. Your sunglasses still in the glove, your ghost still in the seat. And I keep taking the long way just to feel something, even if that something's only grief. Because the drive home used to end with you. Now it just ends with me. The calendar's full of dates I wish I could forget. March the 3rd, the day you said enough. I circled it in red inside my mind. And every year when March comes rolling slowly, I feel the whole thing happening one more time. July the 12th, the first time that I saw you standing by the window at a friend's birthday. I didn't know that love could happen sideways. I didn't know I'd mourn it here someday. December 21st, our last Christmas, the one where neither of us said the truth. We wrapped the gifts and played the happy couple, and quietly dismantled all the proof. Now I carry all these dates like small disasters, private anniversaries of pain, while the world just moves through March and July and December, oblivious to everything we became. Nobody tells you that heartbreak has a calendar full of days that ache. Anniversaries of goodbye, marked in invisible ink. Days the world ignores, but I can't blink. And every year the dates come back like seasons, dressed in ordinary light, but soaked in grief. Anniversaries of goodbye, I've memorized them all. March and July and December's fall. And I don't know if time will ever take them, or if I'll always feel this way when they arrive. I tried to book a trip last March to nowhere, just to be somewhere that didn't know the date. But grief has no respect for geography. It follows you through every time zone, every gate. My sister says that I should make new memories on all the days that used to be about you. And maybe she is right, and maybe someday, but right now I don't know how to push on through. Because the dates aren't just the dates themselves now. They're little monuments to what we had. And tearing down a monument feels violent, even when the thing it honors makes you sad. Maybe one March the 3rd I'll wake up easy. Maybe July will just be warm and long. Maybe December 21st will feel like winter, and not like the last verse of a love song. But until then, I'll honor every calendar. I'll let the dates mean everything they do. 'Cause loving you was real and worth remembering, even when remembering breaks me in two. Anniversaries of goodbye, I'm learning to survive you, one March at a time, one July at a time. And maybe someday all these dates are just dates again, and I'll be okay on every December night. But for now they're mine to carry, and I carry them for you. If this is the last thing I write about you, I wanna get it right. I've been sitting with this melody for weeks now, trying to find the words that end this right. 'Cause 'cause every song I wrote was always for you. And maybe this one has to say goodbye. Not the angry kind of goodbye, not the bitter, just the kind that understands its time. The kind that holds the love without the longing. The kind that lets you finally cross that line. I wanna say thank you for the laughing, for the Sunday mornings and the rainy nights, for teaching me that love is worth the breaking, and for all the moments you were my whole life. And I wanna say I'm sorry for the silence, for every time I chose my pride over your heart, for the version of myself who didn't fight enough, who let the distance tear us slow apart. So here's one last song, not to hold you, just to let you know you matter. This is one last song for you, sung in the quiet dark, a love letter in a melody, a thank you from the heart. Not asking you to come back, not blaming you for leaving, just singing so the love we had still gets to breathe. One last song for you, for everything we were, for every cold coffee, every photograph, every blood, for the voicemails and the rainy drives and the empty side. This one last song is all I have, and God, I hope you're fine. I hope you found a person who says the right things, who fights for you on all the nights I didn't fight. I hope your side of someone's bed feels wanted, and I hope whoever holds you right. I hope March doesn't hurt you anymore, and that July is warm and full of light. I hope you dance in kitchens on a Tuesday and feel like home wherever you sleep at night. And I hope somewhere in a quiet moment you hear a song and think of what we had, not with sadness, not with all the regret now, just a small soft smile for something good we shared. This is the part where I could ask for one more minute, one more cup of coffee, one more talk, but I've spent enough nights stuck inside the asking. And maybe it's time to let myself just walk forward into something I can't picture. Carry what was the lessons, keep the love in softer places, and learn to dance in someone else's rain. One last song for you, and then I'm closing the book. One last song for everything that only we could understand. For the cold coffee and the photographs and all the rest of it. For the person that I was when I was yours. Sleep well wherever you are tonight. You were loved completely, and you always will be. Good night.